Hello friends, welcome to engineering tutorial. So today we are going to start a new discussion, a new topic which will be on basic mathematics. So why I have decided to start this topic is for anyone who is interested in a basic course in basic mathematics fundamentals. For them, they can watch this whole series of videos where I will be uploading videos on a consistent basis, and it will also help us in laying the foundation, a very strong foundation in our understanding of the intermediate and advanced levels in mathematics, such as algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and other things, analytical geometry, all that. And also it will help us in enhancing our understanding in to apply this knowledge in other areas where we discuss in the various subjects of physics and engineering, because mathematics is the core component in our understanding of the various concepts of engineering and physics. So I will be starting with the topic of linear inequations in one variable. This will be the first topic. Okay, I will be posting other videos also, so I'm starting with this. So what is an inequation? So the first thing is that, okay, so let's say we have two separate quantities. Okay, let's say we have a quantity x and another quantity, let's say y. So in between x and y there are the following kinds of relationship which is possible. First one, let's say x is greater than y. Okay, then second, x lesser than y. Okay, then the third is x greater than or equal to y. Okay, and fourth one is x lesser than or equal to y. And there is this x equals to y. So this x equals to y, this is called as an equation, because it is equal, both the quantities they're equal, that's why it is called as equation. So wherever you will see this equal to sign, it means it represents an equation. But these signs, greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, and lesser than or equal to, these signs, they represent signs of inequality. And each of this is called as an inequation. Okay, inequation. Wherever you will find these kind of signs, relationship, greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to, it is called as inequation. So this x greater than y, we can also write it as y is lesser than x. X lesser than y, we can write it as y is greater than x. So you can reverse this relationship. X greater than or equal to y, it means y is lesser than or equal to x, and x is lesser than or equal to y, it means y is greater than or equal to x. So you can, it's obvious, isn't it? If we reverse this, they will be in this manner, they will be represented in this manner. So the general format of a linear inequation in one variable, it is represented as this. Ax plus b is greater than c. Ax plus b is lesser than c. Ax plus b is greater than or equal to c. Ax plus b is lesser than or equal to c. So here x is the only variable here, linear inequation in one variable. A, b and c are constants. Okay, so for example, something like, let's say 2x plus 3 is greater than 7. This, or 5x plus 4 is lesser than or equal to 15, let's say, or 3x plus 5 is lesser than 18, or something like, let's say 4x is greater than or equal to 16. These are examples of linear inequations in one variable. And sometimes you will also find relationships like this, like let's say we have ax plus b is greater than cx plus d. Okay, again cx plus d is a linear inequation in one variable, cx plus d. Or similarly, ax plus b is lesser than or equal to cx plus d, like that. So an example of that is 5x plus 10 is greater than 2x plus 5. This is also an example of linear inequation in one variable. Or 3x plus 4 is lesser than or equal to x plus 5. This is also an example of linear inequation. There are different examples, but the general format is this. Okay, either it will appear in this format with different signs of inequality, greater than, lesser than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or in this format. And we have to, manipulate them, we have to handle them in a proper way according to a set of rules which we'll be discussing just after this, to get the value of the variable, okay, which will be in the form of an inequation. Relationships such as greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to, greater than, lesser than, like that. Okay, so this is the standard format of an inequation here, linear inequation in one variable. Okay, so now we will be studying the rules for solving linear inequations in one variables. Okay, so there are a set of rules which we have to follow to solve these linear inequations. Okay, so the first rule, let us say we have something like this, 2x plus 3 is greater than 8. Okay, something like this. Now here, if we shift this plus 3, which is in the left hand side of the inequation, this is inequation, greater than is the inequality sign, so it is on the left hand side of the inequation, plus 3. If we shift it to the right side, then this plus 3 will become minus 3. Okay, that implies 2x is greater than 8 minus 3, or that implies 2x is greater than 5. That implies x is greater than 5 by 2. Here there is another rule, we have not come at that, but it will be greater than 5 by 2. You will see how we got like this, okay? It's greater than 5 by 2. This is the solution of the given inequation. Here I have used another rule which I will be discussing, in just a few minutes. So this is one situation. Another situation is, let's say 3x plus 5 is lesser than 2x plus 7. Okay, situation is like this. So here what we'll do, we'll take this plus 5 which is in the LHS left hand side, and we'll take it to the RHS right hand side of the inequation. It will become minus 5, and this 2x plus 2x which is on the right hand side of the inequation, we'll take it to the left hand side, so it will become minus 2x. So let's see how it happens. So 3x, 2x comes to this side, becomes minus, lesser than 7 minus 5. That implies x is lesser than 2. This is the solution of the given inequation. So here if you see, in both the cases the sign of inequality stays the same. It does not change. On shifting terms from one side to the other, the signs of inequality, they stay the same. Similarly, suppose we are going to the second rule now. Let's say we have 5x minus 5 is lesser than 5, let's say, okay, like this. So here if we take this minus 5 which is on the LHS and take it to the RHS, it will become plus 5. So here 5x is lesser than 5 plus 5. That implies 5x is lesser than 10. That implies x is lesser than 10 by 5, which is equal to 2. So I will show you how I have got this result. So this is the solution. So here we have taken a negative term and we shifted it to the other side, so it became plus. Here what we did the opposite. We took a positive term, took it to the other side and became minus. So whenever we take a positive term and shift it to the other side of the inequation, whichever side, whether LHS to RHS or RHS to LHS, the positive term becomes minus. Here when we take a negative term and shift it to the other side, whether it is from LHS to RHS or RHS to LHS, it becomes plus. So simple. Similarly here, let's say we have 2x minus 4 is greater than or equal to x plus 5. That implies here, okay, here let's say I will keep it x minus 5, okay, not plus 5, minus 5. So here what will happen is that this minus 4, it will go to the other side. This x, it will come to this side, become minus x. This minus 4, it will go to the other side, it will become plus 4. So 2x minus x is greater than or equal to minus 5 plus 4. That implies x is greater than or equal to minus 1. This. Okay, so this is the first two rules of solving linear inequations in one variable. Then we have another rule, okay. Let's say we have a simple, we'll start with the simple one. Let's say x lesser than or equal to 6. This is the inequation. Simple one, already we have this. So here, if we multiply on both sides the same positive number, any positive number we multiply on the same side. Let's say we multiplied 4 on both sides. 4x here, 4 into 6. So in that case, the sign of inequality, it will stay the same. Here it is lesser than or equal to. Here also it will be lesser than or equal to. Okay, so that becomes 4x is lesser than or equal to 24. So again we'll get the same relationship if we do it, x is greater than or equal to 6. So when we multiply a positive number, same positive number on both sides of the inequation, the sign of inequality, it stays the same. Similarly, here let's say we have 5x is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, this is the thing. Here let's say we on both sides we divided plus 5. On both sides we divided plus 5. It is 5x by 5 and here it is 10 by 5. In this case also the sign of inequality, it will stay the same. Greater than equal to, here also it will be greater than equal to. So 5 got cancelled, here it is 2. So we have x greater than equal to 2. This is what I did here. See, 5x lesser than 10. I told you that I will be showing this rule in just a matter of few minutes. So here I divided both sides by 5. So we got x lesser than 2, and in that case the sign of inequality, it remained the same. So the rule is that when both sides of the inequation, they are multiplied or divided by the same positive number, the sign of inequality, it remains the same. So you can do it with any things, in any general way it will be the same. Okay, so normally you will apply this rule when the equation comes to this form, okay, in this format with only x or some multiple of x on one side and a constant on the other side. You will normally be applying this rule to get the value of x, only the value of x. So this is the standard format. Now the fourth rule, which is very important. Okay, so here we'll take the same situation. Okay, here let's say x is lesser than or equal to 6. Same example we have taken, x is lesser than or equal to 6. So in this case what we'll do is we'll multiply the same negative number on both sides. Let's say we multiplied -4 on both sides. -4 into 6. In this case the sign of inequality, it will reverse. If it is lesser than or equal to, it will become greater than equal to. If it is greater than or equal to, it will become lesser than or equal to. If it is greater than, it will become lesser than. If it is lesser than, it will become greater than, like this. The sign of inequality will reverse when we multiply both sides of the inequation by the same negative number. Okay, same thing will happen here also. Let's say we have 5x greater than 10. Okay, so here suppose we divide both sides by the same negative number, that is -5. Here also -5. Here also -5. Okay, we divided both sides by the same negative number. So in this case it becomes -x. Okay, minus x, and here it is what? It is equal to minus 2. Okay, minus 2. So in this case, the sign of inequality, it will reverse. It will reverse its direction. Okay, this is the thing. The sign of inequality will reverse. Okay, so the rule is that when both sides of the inequation are multiplied or divided by the same negative number, the sign of inequality, it will reverse, which is the opposite of here. When both sides are multiplied or divided by the same positive number, the sign of inequality stays the same. But when the same happens with the negative number, when they are multiplied or divided by the same negative number, the sign of inequality, it reverses. Okay, then another rule, rule number 5. Okay, let's say we have an equation relationships like this, minus x greater than 5. So here, if we change the sign or reverse the sign on both sides of the inequation, whatever sign it is on both sides of the inequation, if we change it, if we reverse it, suppose minus x we change it to plus x, and 5 we change it to minus 5. In that case, the sign of inequality will get reversed. It will become lesser than. Greater than, it will reverse and become lesser than. Similarly, let's say we have 3x is lesser than 15. Suppose we reverse the sign, that is we convert 3x to minus 3x and 15 to minus 15. So in this case, lesser than will become greater than. Okay, then let's say we have 2x is greater than or equal to minus 7. So suppose we take it minus 2x and here it is 7. So here greater than will become greater than or equal to, it will become lesser than or equal to. So essentially what we are doing, if you see, essentially what we are doing here is we are multiplying both sides by minus 1. If we multiply both sides by minus 1, we'll get the same result. Minus 1 multiplied with minus x, it becomes x, and minus 1 multiplied with 5, it becomes minus 5. So basically it is rule number 4. When both sides are multiplied or divided by the same negative number, here the same negative number is minus 1. Okay, so same as if multiplying minus 1 or dividing minus 1, same thing, 5 by minus 1 or minus x by minus 1. We are multiplying or dividing it by minus 1. So when we are doing it, automatically the sign of inequality will reverse. So it is essentially rule number 4 a bit modified. Okay, that number which we are multiplying, that negative number which we are multiplying or dividing, it is minus 1, which is changing the sign on both sides of the inequation. Here also same thing, when we multiply or divide minus 1, it becomes minus 3x, it becomes minus 15. When both sides are multiplied or divided by the same negative number, the sign of inequality reverses, which is essentially rule number 4. Okay, so this is the thing. Then we have rule number 6. Let me change the ink. Okay, rule number 6. So basically what rule number 6 says is, let's say we have an inequation like this, x is greater than 2. Okay, here both sides are positive, both sides are plus. Suppose we take the reciprocal, we take 1 by x and here 1 by 2. The sign of inequality, it will reverse in this case. Okay, the sign of inequality, it will reverse. Similarly, let's say we have 5 greater than x, like this, greater than or equal to, okay, change it, lesser than or equal to, okay, like this we have something. Both sides are positive, okay, both sides are the same sign. So if we take the reciprocal, 1 by 5 and here 1 by x, the sign of inequality, it will reverse. Lesser than or equal to will become greater than or equal to. Suppose we have minus x lesser than minus 5. Okay, minus x is lesser than minus 5. Now we'll take the reciprocal. Both sides are negative sign. Pay attention here, both sides are negative sign. In all of these cases, both sides are of the same sign. Positive, positive, negative, negative. So here if we take the reciprocal, 1 by minus x, which is essentially minus 1 by x, and here it is 1 by minus 5, the sign of inequality, it will reverse. Lesser than will become greater than. So basically it is minus 1 by x is greater than minus 1 by 5. Okay, similarly if we have minus 4 is greater than minus x, then on taking the reciprocal, that implies 1 by minus 4 and 1 by minus x, the sign of inequality, it will reverse. Greater than will become lesser than, or essentially it is minus 1 by 4 is lesser than minus 1 by x. So the rule is that if both sides of the inequation are positive or both of them are negative, which means both of them are of the same sign, positive positive or negative negative, both should be of the same sign. It is not applicable for one side is positive, one side is negative, or one side is negative, one side is positive. No, not like that. It is not applicable. Both sides should be the same sign, plus plus, minus minus, whatever inequality symbol is, that doesn't matter. Both sides should be of the same sign. So if both sides of an inequation are of the same sign, then on taking the reciprocal on both sides, LHS and RHS, the sign of inequality, it reverses. The sign of inequality, it reverses. So this is the sixth rule and the final rule. So here we have the set of 6 rules which we'll be using to solve linear inequations in one variable. Okay,